Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to Group Exhibit Hydrogen Fuel Cells and Batteries at Hanover Messe 2014. For those standing around at the booth or in the hallways, I encourage you to come sit down and listen to this presentation. I'll be speaking with WS Reformers, Dr. Hans-Peter Schmid from WS Reformer with FLOX Gas Processing for all types of fuel cells. Please welcome Dr. Peter Schmid to the stage. Welcome. Hello. So for those in the audience who perhaps don't know too much about WS Reformers, perhaps you could start with a brief introduction and overview of types of reformers that you have and a brief history.
Yeah, hello and good morning everybody. WS Reformer is a privately owned company located in the south of Germany. We are in the fuel cell business or reformer business since 12 years right now, so we're one of the companies from the beginning. We focus on reformers for stationary applications, mainly steam reformers in the power range from systems of 1 kilowatt up to 10 kilowatt, eventually for other types of fuel cells even higher.
What type of fuel cells are those that you use these reformers for?
Initially we started with reformers for PEM fuel cells, then the HT-PEM topic arose. We also have reformers for HT-PEM fuel cells, and the last, let's say, 4 to 5 years, also gas processing modules for SOFC systems came up, and we have solutions for all types, and we are aware of the different requirements of the fuel cells, and especially with regard to the requirements of the reformers.
And what sort of requirements are those?
From my point of view, one of the most important requirements are that the reformer should may not put too much drawbacks in efficiency to the initially high efficiency of the fuel cell, so don't lose the efficiency benefit by poor reformers. And it turned out that steam reformer technology gives for all types of fuel cells the highest efficiency of the total system, which at the end of the day counts for the customer.
Perhaps you can just discuss a little bit how these reformers interact with the different types of fuel cells in terms of range and life cycle, just a little bit more detail of how they integrate together.
That's a good question. Not easy to answer because it's so different, but we could try to put it in that way. At first, reformers, they close the gap between the existing fuels like natural gas, propane, or liquids like alcohols, or even higher hydrocarbons, to the hydrogen which is needed for the fuel cell. And reformers, for us, they are an integral part of the fuel cell system because we produce or generate the hydrogen when it's needed and where it's needed. So no storage of hydrogen and no trucking or no transport of hydrogen in any kind of complicated infrastructure. So that means the interaction between, your question was the interaction between reformers and the fuel cell, which is different for different types of fuel cells. It's true. If we take the PEM fuel cell, which is the most advanced technology, and it's also the cheapest technology on the market at the moment. The reformer requires more steps. It's the more complicated, and it's even more or less separated from the fuel cell. So we produce the hydrogen with the reformer, with the PEM fuel cell reformer, and then you can couple it with the fuel cell. It's thermally pretty much decoupled. If you go to HT-PEM fuel cells, then you might know that you have a higher operation temperature of about 160 degrees C, which fits very well to some of the stages in the reformer. So a thermal and packaging integration is not only beneficial, I would say it's mandatory. And this is even this goes even deeper if we go to SOFC systems, where the high temperature of about 800 degrees C very much fit to the reformer requirements, and heat exchange and all that stuff should be in one box, I would say.
So you mentioned stationary power as an application for these reformers. What other market applications are there, and can you just go into a little more detail of the different uses that some individuals here could perhaps benefit from using these?
I would say for our technology or for stationary applications, the big market is CHP, the combined heat and power. This is good from, let's say, micro CHP at below 1 kilowatt electric output for residential one-family houses, up to 100 or 200 kilowatts electric output for industrial applications.
Could you maybe go into some detail about some of your work, perhaps with any OEMs and any sort of projects you're involved with on the OEM side in terms of vehicles?
In terms of what?
Vehicle application.
And vehicle application. Well, vehicle. Let me highlight some of our experience with the customers and projects. Over the last years, we had many projects. We have undergone all these ups and downs in the fuel cell industry with our partners, with our customers. Some of them died, some of them arose, some of them are still there, like we are. But vehicle application, the reformers in vehicles is something which I don't see at the moment. On the other hand, for vehicles, they need hydrogen as well. Fuel cell vehicles need hydrogen as well. And we also have solutions for hydrogen fueling stations, which are a little bit bigger, and for industrial gas applications.
So you said you're not too much involved in that now, but is that a market application that you're perhaps looking into in terms of the future and future product development?
Yeah, for our bigger units, which are good for fueling stations, the first market is their industrial gas. That means on-site hydrogen in industrial plants for heat metal treatment, or food industry or solar industry, where hydrogen as a gas is needed. And we have a market partner there with a license agreement who bring this worldwide in the market.
And where are you doing predominantly most of your business currently? In terms of regional and sales?
In terms of regional, not easy to say. It changes a little bit. At the moment, most promising projects are in Germany or, let's say, Europe. US is a little bit weaker in the last 1-2 years, and Asia as well.
And what can customers expect to work with you in terms of customization and integration and customer service? What can they expect from WS Reformer?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it strongly depends on the fuel cell type you're focusing on. If you go for SOFC or HT-PEM fuel cells, then a strong interaction between reformer and system is required. From our long year experience, we really know the requirements. So it's not only the product what we offer to our customers, but it's also the experience. It's also the system integration. We are doing our own PEM fuel cell systems right now in a 1 and 10 kilowatt range, in order not only to demonstrate how the reformers work, and they work for many thousand hours right now, but also in order to learn what our customers need and to give them recommendations and help, also not only with the reformer itself, but with all the balance of plant components which are required, because most of them we know them, we have found them.
In terms of your PEM fuel cells, you mentioned a lot about the reformers and your commercialization in that aspect. In terms of your PEM fuel cells, do you predominantly sell those together, or are you maybe using the PEM fuel cells as a different avenue in terms of additional commercialization and additional sales?
This is additional. We sell primarily we sell reformers. We don't make our own fuel cells. We purchase the fuel cell, commercial fuel cells, and put it together in a system. And our system design could also act as a quick starting point for customers who are willing to step into the field and to make it easier for them to start with the development, to start with the product development.
So where do you see the company going in the next few years? What is your major goal? You told me a little bit in terms of additional applications. Is there anything else you want to highlight in terms of the company's goal over the next few years, where you're going to see a bigger push and what they can expect from you?
The next year's goals first are getting profitable. We don't lose too much money because we are a relatively condensed or small team. We hope and we like to push everything forwards on our part. What we've done, we've proven lifetime, we've proven reliability of our systems. So that's what we share with our customers. And my impression or my experience from the last 10 years is now, let me put it in a 5-year frame, for example. 5 years ago, most of people were talking about, does it work? Oh, well, we have to prove lifetime, we have to prove reliability, and so on. And there were some debates about the ideal concepts. Now this is over. Everybody knows, okay, it works, it runs, it's reliable. You can purchase fuel cells, you can purchase reformers, you can purchase power electronics, you can purchase most of the balance of plant components. They can be improved, but they are there. So everybody is ready to start to go. Especially those companies and those type of customers who have a market access, and that's what I expect from the next years. That companies who really have the market access to step into this business, because the technical risk now is minimized, let's say. But most of the companies here, they come from the technology area, from bottom up. So, and now it's time to come from top down in order to bring those units and systems to market.
Are there any people in the audience that have any questions for Dr. Schmid regarding WS Reformers? Anyone? Okay, well, I think that brings us...
We have a booth here,
yeah.
So you're welcome. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. If anyone has further questions, I encourage you to go visit Dr. Peter Schmid at booth D68-1 to talk about WS Reformers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.